right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 749. I'm your host, Cheapy here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by something. Happy New Year, Wombat.
Woo! How's it going?
That's all I got was Happy New Year.
I like it. I dig it.
It's what's going on.
Here, pulling through. I was very sick all last week.
What happened?
I got this. There's this new virus going around. I believe it's called not COVID.
Monkeypox.
No, it's called not COVID because people say, "Oh, what do you got?" And all you respond with is not COVID because it's not COVID. But it's
what is it?
It's like this nasty cough, chest congestion thing, and you're really tired all the time, and you have constant headaches, and it's really gross.
Oh, something's wrong with the audio.
No.
Hold on, I have to fix it.
What's wrong with you? Fix the audio.
Yeah, what did I do?
I did so many. It's not you.
Oh, okay. Apparently, this sickness is also a computer virus.
How about now? Say something.
Is this better?
No.
Okay, it's happening to Shipwreck too.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's not you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I gave you my virus. We should have made out before the show started.
Oh, this is going fantastic.
I know.
Well-oiled machine. Good start to the year.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show.
All right. That should fix. Say something now.
Okay. Anyway, so I was really sick all last week. And I was, lots of phlegm. Went to the doctor, the urgent care doctors. Can I complain about urgent care for 1 second?
I guess we have to.
All they do now at urgent cares is you go in, they test you for COVID, and if you're negative, they come in, they go, "You don't have COVID. Thanks for coming." And I'm like, but what do I have?
Right. And
I'm like, I tested before I got here. I know I don't have COVID. That's why I'm here.
So they didn't give you anything or do anything?
They did. They gave me a prescription cough medicine that's super potent. So it's like you take really small doses of it. And I took that.
Shut them up or all? Is that it?
And I took that for about 4 days. And I spent a lot of time in bed and drinking fluids. And my wife got it shortly after I did. So it was a lot of sick.
Yikes.
A lot of sick.
Right.
Not much fun around my house. So that was my holiday. How was yours?
Mine was good.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody got sick. And we went to Mexico and nobody got sick.
Oh, that's a double bonus.
Double bonus.
Where in Mexico?
We went to Playa del Carmen. And I'll tell you the funny story that Shipwreck already knows is that when we booked the trip, I let Mrs. Shipwreck when she was visiting for LI Retro rather. She was like, "Oh, let me know if you have like vacation plans." Like because we were talking about, Shima was talking about like the vacations that she's planning and stuff. So I sent her a text. I was like, "Oh, we're going to be going to Mexico," and I sent her the place, and she never wrote back. She didn't say like, "Looks good," "Looks bad." Just no response, nothing, just like nothing.
This was a, hey, maybe we'll go on vacation together. Right.
I was just like, here, this is like what we're gonna do. Maybe like I didn't even think that you guys would be able to get to go because it was during Christmas. But I was just basically letting her know, and just nothing back, no response at all. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it turns out that you guys had gone to this Playa del Carmen like 15 years ago and had got explosive diarrhea and vomiting special.
Literally at the resort right next to the resort you were staying at.
Right. Well, that place, it's a lot different now. So anyway, that's why I learned out that Mrs. Shipwreck never responded to me because she had PTSD immediately upon seeing the name of the...
That vacation, so we went down there. This was well before we had kids, right? So
15 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was about 15 years ago, probably. So we went down there, and at the resort was nice. We went on a snorkeling trip where that is where they served us lunch, and we think that she knew not to drink the water,
Right.
but she ate some of the salad that had
Right.
been washed in the water.
Sure.
And so then the rest of the trip was her being sick and me wandering around a resort trying not to get sunburn and watching Spanish reruns of the Thundercats on TV.
Mucho interesante. Right.
So yeah, I had my Mexican vacation of just like me just like checking into the hotel room every once in a while going, you still sick?
Right.
All right, I'm going to go chase this iguana around.
Right. So when I found out about that story, I was like, well, that can't be a thing anymore because we have Google Maps now and all the restaurants are reviewed. And if people were vomiting and shitting themselves, like there would be reviews up there saying that. But like the area's a lot built out now. It's a resort town.
It wasn't like an all-inclusive joint. This was
no. This is like a resort town that we stayed right next to, so you could walk right from the hotel into the town, and go to restaurants.
It could be all-inclusive if you wanted it to.
I'm sure they have every type of resort because this is like when you fly
the one
into.
That we went to, I think, was all-inclusive.
Sure.
And it was, right next door to where you were at.
I love a good all-inclusive. That's my jam.
Well, wait till later in the story. You're going to really find something else interesting.
Okay. I can't wait to be interested.
You will be. So
Did you also email my wife to see if we wanted to go?
No. It wasn't.
You would say no anyways.
I know.
Right.
It's okay. I'm teasing.
I wasn't expecting that you guys were going to even come because it was literally during Christmas.
There would have been a possibility if it was literally anywhere else.
Oh, really?
Probably. Like, why not? Maybe.
Yeah.
But you picked a place that was like a quarter mile away from one of the worst experiences of her life.
You would have found it really interesting, I think, about how different it is now. I mean, one of the interesting things is how many
the crushing poverty was not just like surrounding the area.
I've been to resort areas that have far worse crushing poverty. This is only like mild poverty. It's more like police state issues because there's just so many, not issues, but you will notice
kind of police state.
So many cops is what I'm just saying. You will just see cops every time that you look into the street. You will see a cop car within view with the lights on because I think they have to keep the lights on. That's the rule there. They just always drive with their lights on. And sometimes they have the machine gun guys in the back, like, it's a big pickup truck. And sometimes they got the machine gun guys in the back with the full body armor and everything. Sometimes not. Sometimes just regular cops in the back. Sometimes nobody in the back. But always police cars everywhere. In fact, we went to check out these ruins. You're supposed to check out the ruins in Tulum.
Yeah, Tulum.
It's like the fake
I've been
Mayan.
There in Forza Horizon 5.
I've been there in real life.
So they have
I real life there.
They have like late Mayan ruins, not like true Mayan ruins. Like after the Mayans got like
Did you go to Chichen Itza too?
No, we didn't do that. So we saw
the volcano up top with the
no. These are just
satellite?
like these. I don't know, but the place we went, it was just like ruins, and you could walk around the ruins.
Hot Wheels Island. Did you go there?
Right outside, they have guys with like iguanas and monkeys and stuff, and you can take a picture with them. Right on the way out of the ruin place, the monkey guy was getting frisked by the cops. It was the weirdest fucking thing.
Were they frisking the monkey too?
The monkey was just there and on his shoulder.
Smoking a cigarette, going, it's
not
a
again,
living.
Not again. But it's like, oh my God. So, no, not that much crushing poverty. Like Philippines, much worse. Like no skinny dogs. Let's put it that way. No skinny dogs at all.
I went on my honeymoon in the Yucatan Peninsula, so I know that sort of area.
Maybe skinny dogs then, back then. But now I guess the tourism has brought things up a lot. Anyway, we went to... I know you guys like amusement parks and stuff, and they had something like really unique. We went to two different ones. We went one called Xcaret, and it's like they're all owned by the state, by the way, state owned, and they put a lot of money into them. It's like a big attraction. And the first one we went to is like basically about Mexico. It's like a nature park. The weather was so shitty the whole time we were there that it rained basically like 90% of the time. So we didn't do any of the water activities there, but you can see like walk through different habitats and learn about Mexican history. And it's like, it's crazy. It's really nice. But the second one is the one that I think
they don't have like rides and stuff.
They don't really have like rides on that one.
So
but
it's like a zoo?
there is some sort of like water park rides component to that, but it was the weather, you know, it was a fucking washout for that day. But on the one day that it was nice, we went to this place called, and they had a really good like dinner show there. We could learn about the history of Mexico and have a 7-course meal, like, and like great seats, which was really good. But the second place we went to was a water park, and that's called Zelha. And the thing about this, I'd never heard that this existed before, but it's an all-inclusive water park in that they have all these different restaurants, just like any like big amusement park that you would go to. Okay, and bars and stuff, but it's all included. All the drinks are included, all the food is included. You could go to the 5 different restaurants, just like one after another if you wanted to, and just eat all day long. And the food was really good. The food was like, you would want to eat it. And it was really nice. Have you ever heard of an amusement park where they did, I mean, because usually that's where they try to rip you off, is on the food and the drinks.
Looks like this place was like $180 to get in.
Possibly.
Zelha
We did some
Park.
like tour thing, so it was like
Opened
part
in
of a bundle.
1995? Wow. Oh.
It was super, super nice.
And
like,
it's like $90 to get in. 90.
but you could eat. Think about
That's not
like
bad.
think about
If
how
they're getting all your food and everything. That's not
all
bad.
your food. If you go, people go in the morning first thing, and they'll eat all their meals there. They'll get. I mean, the crazy thing is that, you know, alcohol is all included, but I didn't see people like just completely shit faced and behaving badly.
You're less likely to see that at an all-inclusive.
Is that true?
Because, yeah, because they know that it's there and available at all times, and so
There's no rush.
It's no rush to like just pound it down as fast
Is
as
that
possible.
why?
When I was on my honeymoon, we went to a place called the Shupa Palace. Shupa Palace. Yeah, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Doesn't matter because it's no longer in business because of a hurricane, unfortunately. But Palace Resorts still exist. It's part of that thing. And it was all inclusive, including booze. And you would wake up in the morning and a guy would come up to you and go, "Would you like a drink?" I'm like, "I guess." It would be like 9 o'clock in the morning. "Would you like a drink?" I'm like, "Sure, I'll take like an orange juice." He goes, "No, a drink." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Here, I'll make you one with blended bananas in it." And it was just rum and a banana smoothie, and that would be breakfast.
It's not
So
a
you
good
kind of,
breakfast.
it was a pretty good breakfast, especially when you're on your honeymoon. It was a good time. There was beers in the fridge, in the room. I like that honeymoon. That was a good time.
That was your favorite honeymoon?
That was of all my honeymoons, that was my favorite. I'm kind of sad that place isn't there anymore. It was really cool. It was an eco preserve. So it had like a zoo on premises, and we would like, we could get cocktails and watch crocodiles. That's my kind of vacation. Went snorkeling. Yeah.
Keep reliving it.
Wasn't an eco sport?
Yeah, it was an eco sport resort. It was made in India and discontinued. So yeah, I guess it was. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what happened to this fucking?
That's still your ride right now? Are you still eco sporting around?
Yeah, I still have it. It's fine. It happens to be a pretty good car. I know.
No, I'm fine. I just didn't know if it was time to.
No, I have like a year to go, I think.
They're gonna let you trade that one back in?
I don't know. I mean, they don't have, it's leased anyway, but
Right, but they're gonna take it back.
they'll take it back. Please, they want it back already. They call me and email me because they don't make them anymore, but they don't have anything small.
Collector's item you got there.
They're in demand because of their size. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm glad you had a nice time in Mexico, Cheapy.
I'm glad we could tie it into your Ford somehow.
I did. Hey, that wasn't me. That was all Shipwreck.
I'm glad we could tie it into your honeymoon from 15 years ago and your
It was
Ford
longer
and
than
your
that. It
Ford.
was almost 20 years ago.
Exactly. And apparently there was a guy, a CAGcast fan on the plane, who tweeted me later saying that he saw me on the plane but didn't want to bother me.
Awesome.
And then he wrote this whole long thing about like, why does it feel weird? He recognized Ty first, and then he saw me. And he wrote, "Why does it feel weird that I can recognize Cheapy D's son?" Like he made him feel uncomfortable. I was like, I don't know.
That's
You
your.
should've-
That's a. It
Should
sounds
have
like a
just said
you
hi.
problem.
You could have just said hi. It would have
I
been
can
cool.
recognize him too.
And say it in front of my son, so he thinks that I'm popular.
Mm-hmm.
Impress the whole family. You feel free.
My
And the
daughter's
whole
a big,
airplane. You're in an
fan
airplane.
of. My
Like-
daughter's a big Thai fan.
she can say hi to him in an airport too.
I know. She's a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, say it on a crowded airplane is the perfect time to say like, "Oh my God, it's you," and then like I pretend like it's happens all the time, and you pretend like you can barely stand up, and then then you go to your seat quickly after that, and everybody wins. Yeah, all right, that's it. Yeah, anyone do anything for New Year's?
I was still kind of sick.
So you coughed.
I coughed a lot, and I made steaks that came out pretty good, actually. Big steaks
Not sick enough for
to not make steaks.
to not make steaks and
It
eat
was
the
like
steaks.
honestly, it was a lot. It was
Mostly
not
snot.
as. It was a lot of like physical effort to try to get it all to pretend it was a normal night.
Right.
Did you watch any of the New Year's Eve specials?
I watched Duran Duran because I wanted to see Duran Duran. But
I watched the Miley Cyrus one.
Why?
It was bizarre because it was Miley Cyrus with Dolly Parton, and then all of a sudden, like David Byrne is there singing.
And
singing
Lotto,
Bowie.
right? I mean, Lotto
Yeah,
was
he's-
there.
Who was there?
The girl, the woman who sings "Big Dick Energy." Did she sing that?
Is that Paris Hilton?
No.
Paris Hilton was there. Sia was there.
Right.
But
She's a
yeah,
black
David
lady.
Byrne came out and sang a duet of "Let's Dance" by David Bowie with Miley Cyrus.
That sounds
That
like
was-
pretty good.
I did see that. I
It,
saw that.
it was
after
pretty
the fact.
good. It was just like, what is happening here? I'm enjoying this. I was not expecting to enjoy anything tonight on any of these specials.
Did you ever? Was it better or worse than the Jamie Kennedy New Year's Eve special from how long ago was that? A decade ago? Did you ever see that? Or any clips from that? The Jamie Kennedy.
I'm
New Year's
sure I
Eve?
have, but I've wiped it from my mind at
It
this
is
point.
the craziest, probably one of the craziest live things to ever happen on television. It's just drunk rowdiness, and there are clips of it online.
it's like the
worth your
CNN
time.
one.
Yes, but more weird.
More drunk.
Mm.
We just played a lot of board games. That was
Ah,
that was our
anything
evening.
good?
A lot of Disney board games.
So no. The answer is no. They're not good. We watched The
got a
Glass
new-
Onion. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we got a new one called Here to Slay, which was on sale at Barnes and Noble. It's cute. Your family might like that one.
We like all the board games. Doesn't
Yep.
matter.
I'm just saying. Anyway, do we want to do show feedback or have we done enough?
Oh, there's it's asking if there's any huge TV updates here.
I
Is
put
there?
that on there. I didn't know if you had any.
Yeah, it's still there. It's still really good.
Hasn't fallen
Mhm.
over.
We watched 10 Star Wars movies over the Christmas break.
How'd you do that? There's only 3.
Mhm.
You watched them a bunch of times. I
We
guess.
watched 1 through 9 and Solo. And my kids thoroughly enjoyed all of them. So I think kids can still enjoy Star Wars. You
What
just have
was
to-
did they have a favorite or even better or a favorite character?
I mean, I think if I asked Dash, his favorite character would be Luke Skywalker.
That's
Good
fair.
answer. That's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
Strong answer.
Emmeline, I don't know. She liked Padme, she liked Leia, and she liked Rey.
That
So
checks.
yeah, so
Those are the appropriate responses.
right. Like so
She's what, 10?
she's 9.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I don't know, like going back and watching them all again, like with my kids through a different lens of like, hey, this is they don't know like they obviously
Anything.
know like
There's
that
no
these are different.
baggage.
Right. There's not like, hey, we watched them in the order that they came out, but there's not like anything that separates them out of like, hey, this is good Star Wars, this is bad Star Wars. It's just like, here's Star Wars, and they are thoroughly into all of it.
You
Now
mean your
they're-
daughter wasn't like, when Ryan Johnson makes a Star Wars movie, the problem is that it feels like a Ryan Johnson movie with him making a Star Wars, not a Star Wars movie made by Ryan Johnson. Do you understand? Was
They
she like that
definitely
after
she
that?
definitely had, like, once we got to 7, 8, and 9, that
Mhm.
was clearly the movies she had the most questions about, like pointed like questions about, like, this doesn't quite make sense. Why were they doing this in one movie and then this in the other? And
Why is there so much talking about trade routes?
no,
No,
that's
that's the
1, 2,
original
3.
two. Yeah.
Those
Oh.
make sense. Like, that story arc makes sense. There's
Because
nothing
there was a story planned out for those three movies. For the last trilogy, there was no plan.
right.
They
And
very famously have said we never came up with a plan for the second and
we're
third
still
movies.
working on it.
Yeah,
I still haven't seen the last one. I'm boycotting.
you're not missing anything.
I know.
You're-
It sounds
it's
like
really
torture.
good if you're 5 and 9 years old.
Sure, but you'll
I
watch
would say-
anything at that point.
Yeah,
I mean,
they enjoy it. So now they're watching the Clone Wars animated series, and Dashiell's playing through, what is that name of that game? The Jedi Academy, the 2003 first-person shooter,
Oh, okay.
Star Wars. What is the name? Jedi.
Dark Forces.
It's the continuation of those, not Dark
Okay.
Forces, but it's the one where you play as Jaden and Kyle Katarn and Luke Skywalker giving you the missions. So yeah, he's like all about this 2003 Star Wars game.
where's he playing that?
It on Xbox. It looks all right at
All right.
98 inches on
Really?
Xbox Series
I don't
X.
know. I don't know about that.
It's really crisp. Really
Like crispy and
crisp.
blocky.
Yes, really. You can see every line.
every
In the
every
game?
box.
I don't know. He's
Yeah, of
enjoying.
course.
It's fun to like see them get into it, because I just don't know like if kids are as into Star Wars, right? Like,
Right. Ty was never.
My son is like he doesn't dislike Star Wars, but he's not jumping through hoops. He really likes The Mandalorian and he really liked Boba Fett. But that's kind of about it for him. Like, he just likes, honestly, I think he likes the Mandalorian costume, I think is what it comes down to. He thinks
Right.
the Mandalorian's cool.
It's got a good helmet.
Yeah. Which when you're 10, that's about right. That checks. But he's not like a huge Star Wars person.
You think
No.
Ty not liking Star Wars has anything to do with like me walking out of the movies with him going, what the fuck was that shit? Do you
Maybe.
think that could have affected
he
his
might have
perception?
influenced him
Do you think
somewhat.
that could
in
have had
that.
anything to do with it?
I mean, I think also,
And then I have to explain to him like why it sucked, because he would ask me like, why?
they have their own
What's the
thing
problem?
anyway. They have Marvel movies. Marvel movies is their Star Wars,
Sure.
It's probably is Ty's Star Wars. That was what was the movies when he was forming opinions on things. That's probably the movies he watched.
Yeah, we'll start those soon. I still feel like there's some stuff in those Marvel movies that Dashiell isn't ready for yet.
Oh yeah, Iron Man kills like 7 people in that.
I
first
think
movie.
I think we would skip the first Iron Man movie and just go from
Like,
there.
He like shoots a missile right in a dude's face.
Right. Yeah, that one. There's a lot of talking in that too that I don't think they'll be interested in.
That's true too. Yep.
But Star
It's-
Wars
Star Wars.
still captures the imagination of the youth.
Well, when you look, what you have to look forward to at like around 14 is my daughter right now is going through the Amazon Top 250. So we're having those movies.
What is that?
Like the top 250 highest rated films on? Oh, I'm sorry, on IMDb. I said
okay.
Amazon. I meant
The Amazon.
I said Amazon and I meant to say IMDb. I
Okay.
still have a cold. Yeah. So she's going through the IMDb top 250 is her new thing.
That can be a slog.
It is. I know. And I'm like helping her try to pare down her list. She also like is into Wes Anderson movies now. So she's been trying to watch as many Wes Anderson movies as she can. Not that there are that many, but so That's like the difference. That's 4 years. That's the difference of 4 years, Max.
Wes Anderson. That's not the Resident Evil guy. Who's the Resident Evil
No,
guy?
that's Paul W.S. Anderson.
Okay, yes, different.
Yeah, we're talking
That's
Grand
Paul.
Budapest Hotel, Moonrise Kingdom.
Got it. Yeah.
Royal
I like both.
Tenenbaums.
I like both of their stuff, so I kind of combine them together in my head.
That's fair. So
Cheapy hates it all.
yeah,
No.
he does.
I like Wes Anderson. I don't like Resident Evil movies. At least not the ones that I've seen.
I mean, the laser grid scene is pretty gross.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty gross and good.
Do you want to do any of this show feedback? What about the guy saying that my list of movies and TV shows comes off as pretentious?
Well, I put that on there. So this guy AC on YouTube, he said, "I'm sorry, but Cheapy's list of movies and TV shows comes off as pretentious." But the next comment from Fenor 1977 said, "Pretentious is a stupid criticism when there's so much content out there to watch. I also really enjoy shows like Moon Knight and White Lotus and Weird, but I can easily make a top 10 of things I love from 2022 with no title from their lists." And Tuber77 said, "Longtime listener, some solid lists here. It's interesting watching the guys gain less and less. I find myself doing the same as I get older." But then he goes on to say, "Also, Cheapy's list didn't feel pretentious. There's content outside of the Marvel sphere." So only one person thought you were pretentious, and a lot of other people came to your defense to say,
As they should.
that you weren't.
Hey, if
being
Cheapy likes
pretentious.
pretentious stuff.
You
There's
do.
so much good stuff. I mean, there's
Fine.
so much fucking content now with all these streaming services. It's like, it's ridiculous. So we're really in the golden age of TV content right now. I mean, you can't deny it. I mean, there's just, I mean, it seems like every 6 months there's a new streaming service that comes out, and they have to have their crop of shows and movies. So it's crazy. So just because this guy didn't like my fine choices, he had to lash out.